What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music. We've got an awesome video today. We're going to be talking about guitar strings, specifically acoustic guitar strings. And as an acoustic guitar player, the strings are so important to the tone that you can get. And there's lots of different types of strings to choose from. So I'm pretty excited about this video. First, huge shout out to D'Addario. They're the strings I've been using my whole guitar journey, and they're the best out there. I used to work at a music store, and all the pros would come in and always string their guitars with D'Addario, so that's how I first started playing them. And if there's any strings that you're really excited about when you hear in this video, please check the link below and check out those strings. So we're going to go through every acoustic string that D'Addario makes, and we're going to do just a sound test through each of them. So I've got the mic placed in the same spot. I'm going to be using the exact same guitar, the same gauge of strings, 12 to 53 on the acoustic. So all the conditions are going to be the exact same, so we can talk about the differences and hopefully you can hear the differences. And now let's get playing. Alright, so this first set of strings that we're going to use is a tried and true classic. D'Addario started making these in the 30s, and it's the 80-20 bronze. It's kind of like the first legitimate, standard acoustic guitar string. It's also considered the brightest string that D'Addario makes. And like I said, it's a tried and true classic, so you can consider it like a traditional classic vintage sound, vintage acoustic guitar strings. They haven't changed the formula since. I was using this type of string when I first started playing guitar before I knew anything about strings. It was just like the gold standard. So you're going to hear a brightness to it, but it's still got tons of harmonics, overtones, and a nice shimmer. Let's check it out. Now, with the nice brightness that the 80-20 bronze provides, it's really nice for playing like single note, like lead work that really cuts through the mix, you know. But also, it's going to be great for the singer and songwriter that, really wants some presence with their playing. So, But overall, well-rounded, made since the 30s, so, it's a tried and true classic. And it's the 80-20 bronze. So this set of strings are the D'Addario 8020 Bronze XT. And the XT is a treatment that D'Addario uses on the strings that provide anti-corrosiveness and also a stronger string that helps prevent string breakage. So these strings have a little, I don't know whether it's a feel thing or I actually hear it and feel it, but they just have a softer feel to them. So just felt throwing some 13 more jazzy chords in there up the neck, just kind of felt right with what my fingers were feeling and the tone I was hearing here in this room. Alright, so this set of strings are the classic PHOSPHOR Bronze, the most popular acoustic guitar string in the world, and I've played this set of strings, and specifically this D'Addario set of strings, more than any other pack of strings in my personal playing life and career. Once again, when I was first out of college, I was working at a music store, and these EJ16s were the go-to for every pro that would come in, and people that knew a lot more about guitar than I played those strings. So of course I had to copy, you know, all the people that I was looking up to, and it was this exact set of strings. Now this is probably the set of acoustic strings I've used the most in my life. So putting these on and starting to strum, I went back to kind of the stuff I used to play when I was first really getting into guitar. Open chords and this kind of open scale. It just brought me right back to that kind of original feeling of everything being new on the guitar. So this set of strings is the PHOSPHOR Bronze XT. Now the PHOSPHOR Bronze we played earlier in the video, which are the most widely used acoustic guitar string. That classic classic even tone with a little bit of brightness, punchy mids, and deep lows. But with this time, we've got the XT, which is the treatment that helps with corrosion, the strength of the string, so less string breaking, and it stays in tune better as well. So it's great pack of strings. This technology didn't exist when I was first playing, but man, it's great for getting a really nice lifespan out of your strings. I tried to play something intense and fast to make my fingers sweat the most because we're dealing with new anti-corrosion technology. So I was inspired to sweat all over these strings. But you still got the phosphor bronze tasty brightness there. So this set of strings is the Phosphor Bronze XS, which is a brand new technology and a brand new string offering from D'Addario. So it's got maximum life, extended life. And then there's also a really fine coating that just adds a nice smoothness under your fingers. It's really, really sweet. So this pack of strings are the nickel bronze, and one of the main characteristics of the nickel bronze is to really bring out the tone of the guitar itself and minimize how the string sound is affecting the tone. You get really nice sound out of the guitar, feels great under the fingers, and you definitely get some richness in those overtones. I felt like playing something really shimmery with the nickel bronze strings. And one of the concepts of the nickel bronze strings is to minimalize the tone that the strings are bringing and maximize the sound of the guitar. So when I think of that, or like what is the sound of your guitar, the tone of your guitar itself, I think of lots of open shimmery strings. We can hear those harmonic overtones and really get the guitar to resonate out. This set of strings are the PHOSPHOR bronze flat top. So they're not round wound on the thicker strings. It actually looks more angular if you were to zoom in. So you get a little bit of a warmer tone. You also get less string noise on your fingers because it's going across the strings smoother, because the grooves aren't as sharp when you get really deep in there. So it's great for recording, playing with a slide, that flat picking style. I'm actually really digging the way the flat top feels on my fingers. It has a really, it's hard to describe, but I haven't played a lot of these strings before, and now I'm thinking that I need to have a guitar just with this set of strings on it, because I'm really, really digging it. So I'm not much of a flat picker bluegrass guitar player, but since these are flat top strings, I just thought I had to go into that zone, that flat picking zone, and just play through some classic G and some kind of fakey bluegrass licks. That's what I was inspired to do, just because of the feel and the sound. So this set of strings are the Silk and Steel set, which I hadn't played a lot. I don't know if I had played these ever, but they're really thin, light gauge, almost bordering on what it feels like to have nylon strings on your guitar. Very soft, not as bright of an attack or tone. So I think these strings are great for a fingerstyle player, folk style player. I actually really enjoyed playing single note melodies. It just has like a nice soft attack. So that's what I'm thinking, fingerstyle, folk. But also, because they're so light and smooth, I think it'd be a great choice for a beginner who's struggling to put enough pressure down on the neck to get the tones and strings to ring out. Also, if you're trying to learn bar chords, it's going to be easier to play. You're not going to have to press as hard. right, so those were the silk and steel, and just because of the way they felt on my fingers and the softness and the tone, I just, felt like I had to play more of a finger picking, finger style piece. I was just I gravitated towards that, and they play great. All right, so that was all the D'Addario strings, going through a lot of strings. I changed all the strings myself, mind you, so it was it was quite a undertaking, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I also really learned a lot. Some of the key takeaways for me was I really enjoyed the way the flat tops felt when I played. I liked the way they slid underneath my fingers, and I liked the warm tone. So I'm going to definitely string up one of my acoustics with those strings on it. Another thing I really realized is that I've been using phosphor bronze for most of my guitar playing life. So when we were going through the phosphor bronze strings, that had the most familiarity to me. And so what I'm going to do now in the future, now that I've gone through all these, is I'm going to, as my mainstay string for just everyday playing, I'm going to use the phosphor bronze, but with the coating, so the tone lasts longer and the strings, the life of the strings will last longer. Another thing I really enjoyed exploring were the silk and steel strings. They had a great softness, probably the closest you're going to get to a nylon string sound, but with steel strings. Also a great choice for the beginners struggling to put enough pressure down or pain on their fingers or bar chords. So it's great for that as well. I want to give a huge shout out to D'Addario for helping me make this video, sponsoring this video, and also making the best strings out there. If you're curious about any of the strings that I played, there's links below for you to check out. So go down to that link and check out all the strings that D'Addario has. Also, thanks for watching Marty Music here. Hope you guys had a good time, and I hope to see you in another video real soon. Take care.